It is the ego screaming because it is losing control. Do not fight it. Just watch it. Treat your noisy thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. The clouds come and go. The sky remains. The Stoics had a practice for this. They called it the view from above. When the noise of life became too much, they would imagine floating up out of their bodies, rising above the room, above the city, above the continent, into the stars. From that perspective, the noise of the world becomes silent. The arguments, the politics, the traffic, they all disappear. You realize how small the noise is, and how vast the silence is. This shift in perspective is healing. It resets the nervous system. It reminds you that you are part of a cosmic order that is calm, rational, and eternal. Silence is also the birthplace of resilience. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps, made a discovery. He noticed that in the midst of extreme suffering, there was a space. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is silence. If you react instantly to everything, an insult, a traffic jam, a bad email, you are a slave. You are a biological machine running on a reflex loop. But if you can pause, if you can access that split second of silence between the trigger and the action, you become free. You can choose to act with dignity instead of anger. You can choose to act with courage instead of fear. Silence buys you time, and time buys you freedom. This is why the most powerful people in any room are often the quietest. They are not rushing to prove themselves. They are observing. They are processing. They are holding the power of the pregnant pause. They know that he who speaks first often loses, and he who can hold the silence controls the frame. Silence is dominance, not over others, but over yourself. In the next part, we will look at how to build this power into your daily life. We will talk about dopamine fasts. We will talk about the architecture of a silent room, and we will discover how to find the eye of the storm, even when the world is burning down around you. So, how do we reclaim this lost territory? How do we become architects of silence in a world of noise? The first step is a digital detox, or a dopamine fast. You must stop feeding the beast. The algorithm is designed to steal your silence. It fills every gap in your day with a notification. You must reclaim the gaps. Start small. The first hour of the morning, keep your phone in another room. Do not let the world invade your mind before you have even gotten out of bed. That first hour is sacred. It sets the tone for the entire day. If you start with noise, you will end with chaos. If you start with silence, you carry a shield of calm with you. Use that hour for productive silence. Write, read, stare at a wall, drink coffee without a podcast. Let your brain boot up in safe mode. Next, create a physical sanctuary. You need a place where noise is forbidden. It could be a corner of your bedroom, a chair, a park bench. This is your territory of silence. When you sit there, your brain should know, okay, we are going deep now. No phones allowed, no screens, just you and the infinite. Train yourself to tolerate boredom. Boredom is not a defect, it is a filter. Great ideas lie on the other side of boredom. You have to push through the layer of I'm bored to get to the layer of eureka. Most people turn back at the first sign of boredom. Be the one who keeps walking. Practice strategic silence in conversation. We are trained to fill every awkward pause with words. Stop doing that. When someone finishes speaking, wait. Wait 3 seconds before you respond. In those 3 seconds, 2 things happen. First, the other person might say something even deeper, because your silence invites them to go further. Second, you formulate a response that comes from your intellect, not your reflex. You stop echoing and start thinking. Your words will carry more weight because they come from a place of stillness. Nature is the original silence. It is not quiet. There are birds, wind, water. But it is a coherent noise. It is a noise that calms the nervous system instead of exciting it. Go into the woods, go to the ocean, listen to the rhythm of the planet. It is slow, it is patient, it is silent. Align your internal metronome with that rhythm. The apocalypse of silence is real. We are losing our minds because we have lost our quiet. But the cure is free. It is available to you right now. It does not require an app. It does not require a subscription. It just requires the courage to turn it all off, to sit, to breathe, to listen. When you silence the world, you hear the universe. The ancient philosophers knew this. The mystics knew this. And deep down, you know this too. You are tired of the noise. You are tired of the hustle. You are tired of running. Stop. Just stop. The wisdom you are looking for is not in the next video. It is not in the next podcast. It is in the silence between the videos. It is in the silence after this video ends. Don't click next. Close the screen. Close your eyes. And listen. The silence is waiting. And it has so much to tell you. Ever felt stuck, staring at a blank page or a complex problem, wishing for a sudden spark of genius? We have all been there, trying to force a breakthrough with pure logic. But what if the key to unlocking your most potent, original ideas isn't more thinking, but less? This video will reveal how tapping into your often ignored intuition can become your secret weapon for unparalleled creative breakthroughs. We live in a world that worships the rational mind. From the moment we enter school, we are trained to analyze, to categorize, and to deduce. We are taught that every problem has a linear solution. If you are stuck, the advice is always the same. Think harder, focus, grind. But have you noticed that thinking harder rarely produces genius? It produces stress. It produces fatigue. It produces safe, predictable answers. But it rarely produces the spark that changes everything. This is the great paradox of creativity. The harder you try to grab the answer with your conscious mind, the further it slips away. It is like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. To understand why this happens, we must look at the architecture of the human mind. Imagine your mind is an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg, the small part visible above the water, is your conscious logic. It is limited. Cognitive science tells us that the working memory can only hold about 7 pieces of information at once. 7. That is the limit of your processor. Logic is a flashlight. It is a narrow beam of intense focus. It is excellent for organizing what you already know. It is excellent for execution, but a flashlight cannot show you the whole landscape. It cannot connect dots that are miles apart. Now, look at the part of the iceberg under the water. This is your unconscious mind. This is the realm of intuition. It is not limited to 7 bits of information. It processes millions of data points simultaneously. It holds every memory, every emotion, every smell, and every pattern you have ever experienced in your life. It is not a flashlight. It is a supercomputer running in the dark. When we try to solve a complex creative problem using only logic, We are asking the flashlight to do the work of the supercomputer. We are trying to force a linear solution onto a non-linear world. This is why we get stuck. This is why we feel blocked. Writer's block, or creative block, is not a lack of talent. It is a traffic jam in the conscious mind. It is the ego trying to do a job it is not qualified to do. Think about the greatest breakthroughs in history. Albert Einstein did not discover the theory of relativity while staring at a blackboard doing math equations. He discovered it while daydreaming about riding a beam of light. Archimedes did not discover the principle of buoyancy while working in his lab. He discovered it while relaxing in a bathtub. The structure of DNA came to James Watson not during data analysis, but in a dream about spiral staircases. What do all these moments have in common? They happened when the logic was turned off. They happened when the individual stepped away from the problem and allowed the unconscious to speak. We call this the incubation period. But in our hyper-productive society, we treat this period as laziness. We feel guilty if we are not actively working. We check our phones. We force the process. We fill every second of silence with noise. In doing so, we are suffocating our intuition. We are keeping the water surface so turbulent that the messages from the deep cannot rise to the top. Intuition is not magic. It is high-speed pattern recognition. It is your brain scanning vast archives of information that your conscious mind has forgotten and finding a connection. But this connection is subtle. It is a whisper. And logic is a shouting tyrant. Logic says, "That doesn't make sense. That's not how we do things. That's